from me in my car. Shocker. Anyway, I actually just wanted to ask that anyone that would watch this video, if you're not already praying for Syria, and more specifically in the news right now, Aleppo, please do so, specifically as Christians, because there are so many Christians that are dying for their faith. And I mean, I, honest to God, have just recently been super concerned. I mean, I've been praying in general, but now that I know Christians are being crucified over there, and they're continuing to just be strong in their faith and not worried that these things are going to happen, even though they know that they are. It's an amazing testament, because I'm over here. I can go to church whenever I want. I can stand on the street corner and yell, Jesus is God, and, whatever I want to do. There's going to be some verbal, possibly, but that's nothing compared to being crucified. And honestly, I'm glad that I don't live in that sort of environment, because, I've heard, persecution brings out the heat of the faith, but, I'm just blessed to be here in the United States, and anybody that isn't being persecuted should be blessed that God has not done that here yet. I do believe that eventually He will, and it seems as though with the way people are acting, it's going to happen sooner than we want. But there's a couple verses that I wanted to share, and in me fashion, am not going to share them specifically because I want you to look them up if you doubt me, or look them up if you're curious. And so the two that I think are concrete, can't be disputed, are actually two chapters, which would be Isaiah 49 and 50, which discusses how Damascus is going to be destroyed, because, they're feeble. And so God says that, this is going to occur, people are going to die, it's going to be desolate, there's not going to be anything. So then if we go back to our news reports that we're looking at right now, there is absolutely nothing in a lot of parts of Syria right now because of the civil war that they're having. And, I believe the narrative for the most part is that everybody's being taken out, but I've looked for a couple days before making this video. The number of Muslims that have been taken out or moved has been kind of revealed. It's, there are more that need to come out, but for the most part, these Muslims, are being removed. But I looked into Christians and other faiths, and I cannot find a number. However, I do see that in Aleppo, 90%, I believe it's 90% are Muslim, 10% are Christian, and so then that would make me think that they would at least know where these 10% of Christians are, but they don't, and I don't know which sect of Muslim or which thought process of Muslim that they are, but I do know that it says 90% are Muslim. And I also found out, which, is kind of common knowledge, but I'd like to share it anyway, that in Damascus, obviously, if you read your Bible, it's a very, very ancient city. It's been around, Jesus discusses it, it's been around in the Middle East for quite some time. And so, the Christianity has been established there for at least 2 centuries, which is amazing. So these Christians have an extremely rich faith. I believe I have a rich faith, but, they're living there where these things are being prophesied by the name Damascus. And so that's great. I just, I don't want to say, I guess I admire, look up to the fact that, they're so devoted and sold out to Jesus that they're willing to die. And that's just an amazing thing. I think if somebody put a gun to my head and said, hey, Gabby, are you a Christian? I'd say yes. And I believe that I would say yes. I know that I would have no choice, but I can't say that I wouldn't be afraid. And that, if I'm being honest with you, I want to say, no, I wouldn't be afraid at all, but I would be afraid. The things that these people are going through are things that I can't even fathom. And I'm sure many of us can't. And so it's just amazing that they see, men with, possibly knives and hammers whatever it is that they're going to put these people through, and they stand up and say, yes, I'm a believer of Jesus Christ. And I'm sure that a lot of them, I think I saw an article about a 12-year-old boy who was crucified, but he had just said it with such vigor. And, sorry, I was just making sure I wasn't going to get hit. And I'll have to look into that. Maybe I'll put that in the description when I find it. But that's an amazing thing. Like, even to just say, yes, I'm a Christian in these times is so courageous in my opinion. And so I would just like to thank those who have passed on and are with our Father for being, using God's strength to say, hey, yes, I'm a Christian and died. And they're getting their reward. So I hope that y'all are enjoying this, even though I know you're not watching this video because you're in heaven having fun. And I know that probably no one over there is ever going to see this video. But I do want to thank you for being so strong and setting an amazing example for us. That you know that you're in the face of death, but Jesus is stronger than that death. Jesus has already overcome the grave. And that gives me something to look up to as a Christian because, a lot of persecution's happening here, but not nearly what you're going through. And so that being said, as those of us who are blessed enough to be in these situations, even if you're in Eastern Europe where a lot of people are being raped and having to deal with a lot of these refugee issues, we're still blessed to not have to be in these war zones. And so I would just like to encourage everybody to pray for these people. Pray that they have strength and they have peace through Jesus, at least. I'd like to pray for their salvation, but ultimately they've already been saved from death. And so if Jesus saves them from this issue, that would be amazing. But per 49 and 50 of Isaiah, it doesn't look like that's going to happen. But these people are going to get their reward, and I think that they deserve it, if you ask me, because they're being amazing followers. Anyway, well, I just wanted to point that out, ask that everybody would pray for Syria and Aleppo. And I know maybe it's just me that's seeing all these crucifixions recently, but I just wanted to encourage everybody to do that because they need it. They need that strength that God has to give. And I thank you so much for watching this video, caring what I have to say. It's truly amazing to be able to share what I think, and it's also great that y'all are putting up with me while I can't make high-class videos because of those midterms. Anyway, guys, well, thank you so much for watching this video. I pray everybody's doing great. If you have anything that you need prayer for or encouragement or what have you, please let me know or someone around you. Love y'all. Have a great day.